welcome to Root Family Podcast, where we can draw families closer to God by going deeper in what He's really saying in His scriptures, in and through us.
Hello, Facebook world.
Yeah.
We are going live here from my account since
I'm
Kate's got
suspended.
shut down.
I am suspended, people. So just come visit us over here, right? But we are talking about the balance between training and entertaining.
It's such a huge thing, especially as lives begin to open back up. Now you can travel, you can go back out to eat in a lot of states. There's a lot of things that you can do to remember it's not all about entertaining our kids. That's not why God gave them to us.
Yeah, I really am motivated. We were talking to a friend, Becky Fisher, today, and also another friend, Mrs. White, about how we can help make God more hands-on reality at home, and how we have unintentionally turned training our children into entertaining our children. And we've been having the discussion that a lot of our kids are in sports, for instance. When they are taking to be coached on an individual sport, they are not entertained the entire time. They are trained.
Yep.
They are developed and trained in skills that will allow them to be good performers in that sport, correct?
Yep. Same thing for music. You drop your kids off at piano or cello
I
or
don't
whatever it
want
is.
to practice my instrument.
And what do you expect to happen during that time, right? If you pick them up and they just said every single time, oh, we had fun, we played this game, and I got to see some friends, and it was good. Well, pretty soon you'd be cutting them off as your coach because they are not enriching your kid's life the way that it is intended.
So how much more with the children that He's given us for this earthly walk that leads us into the doorway of eternity, would we be intentional with raising our kids in who they are in Christ, in their identity in Him, in the importance of being led by His Spirit and not by their emotions or current events, in the truth that the Word is the only thing that is infallible and will not let them down, and in the fact that they are created for eternity and this home is temporary, which is why we keep our focus on heavenly things and being an impact for a kingdom while this earth is still apart from Him, right? Until He returns. So we are His representatives here. Why would we not raise our children to be representatives of the kingdom? And that's not going to happen by only taking them to church on Sunday. So today we posted a quote which started an excellent conversation with Becky Fisher, and we'll be talking about this more on her podcast. We will make sure to share it when we do, because we don't just want to talk about it, we then want to talk about steps to fix it.
Right.
It is our pet peeve,
How
right?
many people in the world are just talking about problems and not in any kind of search for any solutions?
Right.
That's what just keeps problems getting worse.
Right, and that is not what we are about. So we will make sure to share that. And then we will also be doing a podcast we're super excited about on the Root Family Podcast with Michaela White on how to honor the Sabbath as a family. And a lot of you, that religious spike rises up, doesn't it? Like, we don't have to honor the Sabbath. We rest every day in the Lord. True, but we do.
Are you really, though? That's my question. Are you really resting in the Lord every day?
We do believe the Word, and it says that, but are we using it as an excuse to not dwell with and in Him, right? So that's going to be a really fun podcast also. But what got us starting on this was a quote by Paul Washer that we posted on Root today.
Let me read it for you. Here's what it says. Your children will go to public school and they will be trained for somewhere around 15,000 hours in ungodly secular thought.
If they go back to Christian school this
year. Well, that's public school. And then they'll go to Sunday school and they'll color a cute picture of Noah's Ark. And you think that that's going to stand against the lies that they're being told? Paul Washer. It just goes back. I think I said this in our last Facebook Live. I've said it in recent podcasts. Just when we started doing the stats and looking at the numbers, that in all reality, most Christian families who are dropping their kids off at church and expecting that training time to create some massive spiritual growth, the reality is They're getting about 6 hours a year of actual training, of actual education, of learning. There's a lot of other things that are going on, and to be honest, life is busy.
Right.
So we don't go to church every week, and for a lot of us, we're just starting to get back to going to church now that they're opening up, but most churches still don't have children's ministry yet, and so they're still not getting. And so that would be the normal stat of 6 hours in a year's time if the coronavirus epidemic, crazy pandemic, insanity, imaginary insanity actually didn't hit. And so now we're talking about maybe 3 hours this year.
Yeah.
If our kids, and is 3 hours in a year's time really going to get the maturity, the growth, the training that you want in your kids, or do they need something more?
So let us know. We're always looking for new ideas of how to help make Christ the true center of homes, how to make training our kids and helping other families train their kids in the things of the gospel as reality. Mm-hmm. So if you are doing something in your family that you really want to share, please let us know.
Oh, we would love that.
What we're going to talk about next, which is the group registry. Hi from Columbus. What we're going to talk about next is about tying church and home, and is really something, the whole reason we left the church organization by God's leading to start Root was to help infiltrate families in their homes, not just in the church building, to be the church. Are we anti-church? Absolutely not. We still go to church. But we realized our efforts were less known there as God continued to reveal things to us that we needed to help families do in their homes. And thus we started Root.
Right, but this new group action enables both to happen at the same time. I'm super excited about it. So we'll post the link if you guys are curious at how to sign up a whole group for the Root online classes, plus the fun work, plus the parent trainings and the handouts for them, plus the fun and interactive, like the games and the coin earning and seeing if you can be the first place on the leaderboard, all that, the craziness, fun part. So you get access to all that, plus the slideshows and the Word documents for your elementary or your junior high church service as well. And so what the kids learn in the Root classes online, then you'll be able to reteach if you have church that Sunday in your church, and
chapel,
or co-op, and we even had some conversations with some small groups that are going to roll this out. They have a large small group, and they don't want to just have their kids being entertained in the basement while the parents have their meeting or whatever. And so they're looking at signing up whole groups. And so we just had a church in Indiana sign their whole children's ministry up, and that's what they're doing, and I'm super excited about. I think this is really going to help a whole lot of churches, a whole lot of families, and a whole lot of kids to be able to grow spiritually.
Why? Because we are successfully connecting church and home. And parents, you have a big role to play in this, because somewhere along the way, we were told as parents that we needed to find a church that our kids were excited to go to. Now, I get that. We want our kids to be excited. We don't want to force them out the door in the day. And it became unpopular to make your kids attend the church building. Well, that is untrue. It is only true if your sole focus is for them to be entertained and have fun. Then you will continue to church hop until they are out of your home, if that is your one source.
Because there'll always be a newer church doing something a little closer to Disney than the one you're going to. You can always jump
we have all discovered, for the most part, just to take them somewhere to be entertained is fruitless. They get back in the car, they can't answer questions, you don't know what they learned, they don't know what you learned, you go home, there's no connection. Right? That is not working for raising a generation who God has intended carry us into this new season that we all find ourselves in. And we can train them up by connecting church and home, by parents taking learning and experiencing and encountering the truths of our King seriously, about enthroning him on our heart and our decisions in our homes, that our kids would know, yes, It's okay to have fun at church. That's amazing. God is fun. But why are we going? We're going to sharpen each other. We're going to learn how to be the church. We're going to be equipped to leave that building and be all that he is in the world. That's how the Bible defined church. That we're literally going there, communing together, sharpening each other, equipping each other to do the work of the gospel. There's nothing about entertaining. There's nothing. I mean, look it up for yourself. It has nothing to do with what we've made church today. And I do believe with good intentions and good purpose, but it's got twisted along the way. Yeah. So your number one goal cannot be for your children to have fun at church. And our number one goal cannot be for them to have fun in class. Will we have fun? Of course.
We will have fun. But what I love is, take that statistic again, 6 hours a year. If you jump into this where you're offering root courses as well, once a week, then we're adding on like 40 hours to that. Well, that's almost 7 times more training that these kids will get in an entire year. Yeah. That is a huge increase for a minor expense, whether the church covers it or it splits it up with the families, however you guys want to do that. Right. We can work it out. But I just want to hit one last thing, that it's not just academic either. We're not just going over things that they can mentally assent to, that have no heart change and no impact on how they live their life. No. Everything we do, I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of what we teach in Root is not only this is what to do, but the why behind the what, and building and strengthening a real relationship with a God who loves them, more than just saying, you need to be nice because that's what you should do. Well, yeah, that comes so short.
Because the light lives in you, because you've been equipped to be kind, because it's part of the fruit of the Spirit that he put in you, and that's why Jesus said is more important that he leaves the earth, that you can be equipped to walk out a life and better than we see him walking out while we read the Gospels. Yeah, that's you.
Yep. Well, like it says in I think it's 2 Peter, everything that is needed for a life of godliness has already been deposited within us.
You just have to know how to unlock it. And that's our passion for families, is to equip families to unlock that in their children and each other. And that is why we do Root, and that is why we have opened Root groups, so that church and home can connect, so that what they learn at church and what they learn at home can connect, so parents can easily get the resources if they choose to apply them at bedtime, at their table, in their car. They're all out there, so that kids can go out and review and earn coins and turn them in at your church or your co-op or your chapel.
And challenge the others in that.
And challenge the others. They'll see what others are earning and how they're reviewing and building up who they really are. You know, I typed this to a friend today, and I feel like it's no better than to read it, because I feel like it was from the Holy Spirit. It was, our goal as parents is to teach our kids there is no identity apart from him. There is no guidance you can trust apart from his Spirit. There is no word that will never fail, like the Bible. And if we base our life on that which is in temporary will no longer be a stumbling block, because we will base our life on eternal things, where natural things will no longer trip us up. They can't, because we have our eyes, and we teach our kids to have their eyes set upon the King and his authority, and what's really happening in the supernatural realm, and how we have authority over that, and how to take it, how to talk to our King and our Father, and how to hear his voice, because he's equipped us to. We can, as parents, succeed at reaching our families by just going after him together. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just ask him for the compassion and passion, and go after it. Go after it together, eternal things. So check out the group.
Yes, we'll post the link here in the notes or the comments under our live thing.
Yes, and we love that you're here. Please put what you need prayer for as families, for your kids. Our whole family actually loves to pray. And so we bring these things together when we come together and pray. And our kids are prayer warriors. And that has just developed out of their own relationship with God. We led them there, and they've just taken off like rockets in their prayer life. So please post in the comments what you need prayer for. We will pray for you. We will declare truth over you. And we look forward to hearing testimonies about how Root is helping you
Yep.
Raise your kids.
Wait, can I share one more thing for those that...
You just cut me off.
Because I'm posting this, and we're doing it in Root Bible Academy as well, and so there's parents that are enrolled that are going to see this, and I'm super excited about just this morning even. We finished up confirming... No, not even the face series. Confirming... Well, that's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to show you guys that. But we're going to be chatting live with a missionary in Ukraine. Ukraine. Not this next Monday, but the Monday after that. We're going to be live chatting with him, seeing how he's being the light over there and the things that they're doing. And we're really excited about that. And then the week after that, we have a brand new segment we're rolling out with live worship in class, led by a guy named Hunter. I'm super excited. So he's going to lead us in live worship, and then he just finished recording a whole family worship set. And so your families can worship together with someone that the kids will respond to and recognize from our Root classes. And so we're going to post that after he does the live one in the classes. So that's going to be super amazing. I can't wait.
We really just love connecting the families from all around the world. So they understand that there are other eternal beings under the King's reign, pushing on heavenly things here on earth.
And just to be honest,
powerful.
How fun was it going to be able to worship with our own kids? Because most of us, right, we go to adult service, our kids go to the kids service, and we never get to actually worship together. Or I know a lot of times the kids don't know the songs if they are in adult worship with you, and so they're more tempted to just kind of sit back and draw or color. But now they're going to be able to engage with the same songs that they'll have learned them in the Root classes, and it's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait.
And remember, it's okay to push your kids beyond their comfort zone. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? The King is worth honoring more than crossing your arms and sitting down. Can you stand up, please? You don't have to worship like me. You don't have to worship like the other people up there. But I want you to posture your heart in an attitude of honor. Whether or not you are choosing to enjoy this with your flesh or not, you can choose to. You will still posture your heart in honor to our King. So please stand. Please engage, right? These are real ways we can raise our kids to understand that worship and relationship with Him is a real thing. And we can do it in love.
And Hunter is going to monthly do a little teaching as well on what worship really is, what it looks like, how to do it, how to engage with God and not just sing a song.
Super fun kid.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're really
we've got to cut ourselves off. Our quick Facebook
prayer.
Live is now at 17 minutes.
Post your prayer. Let us know how we can help you as families. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.